All right, Mr. Eldridge, we have time for one more question, and we'll throw it open to whatever anybody else wants to ask. Monday night, 84 million people saw the debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, in which there were promises nonstop as to what they would do if elected. Anyone who was just passively read the headlines or followed the news knows it's one thing to make a promise, but if it reaches a House divided, a Congress that cannot get anything done, what good is it? Congress right now has an approval rating that's below root canal. Mr. Eldridge, we'll start with you. What would you do to improve the productivity of Congress?
Well, I would take the philosophy that I call a whiteboard approach to Washington, to the Senate. And you know, people are skeptical of this. People are so frustrated with politics and politicians, but we have to believe it can work differently, that it can be fixed, that we can get things done. Our Constitution allows for that. The way I would do that is to go in and day one, check the party labels at the door, assemble a group of like-minded senators of both parties, of all parties, and say, you know what, we're going to check the labels at the door, we're going to go in, we're going to each list what we think the top issue in this country is, we're going to put it on the whiteboard, and we're going to have an intellectually honest discussion about things we can do our jobs to fix those problems. It's not hard. That is the basic function of our Senate, should be, and our Congress. And that's why I'm running, to deal with those problems. You know, I approach this from a prosecutor standpoint. And I can tell you that victims of crime don't know a political party or care about a political party. And as a prosecutor, you look at the facts, you use common sense, and you try to do what's right. And that's exactly what I would do as a senator. I think that approach is desperately needed. And history has shown us that even though Washington bickers and blames, there are moments and there are leaders that can transcend that and that can get things done. That's why I hope the people of this state will hire me to do this job, and that's exactly what I will do in the United States Senate.
Mr. Gilbert, your 2-minute response to repairing the chasm that has occurred, the big divide in Congress.
Well, I think Connor has better opinion of both himself and the Senate than I do. Do you think the junior senator from the minority party is really going to invite other senators from the older parties to come together and let us reason together? I know he'll try. And I know there's some there who will come and they'll listen and they'll even try to do. When the United States Senate voted to allow for the unlimited detention of American citizens without charge, there were 7 senators who voted against that. There should have been 97. But there were 7, and they were both Democrats and Republicans, and I'm so proud of them, I'd like to hug every one of them. But they are a tiny minority, and the vast majority on both sides of that aisle owe their job and their allegiance to the party that put them in a position to be elected, and to the money folks who paid for it. I'm going to say it again. There is only one thing you can do to make the majority of Republicans and Democrats to come together and work for a united cause in the Senate of the United States, and that is to send me to the Senate. Because I guarantee you, Republicans and Democrats will come together and figure out, how can we get rid of him? We cannot have this. My presence there will be the tonic that the Senate needs. Not because I'm special, not because I have great intellect, but because the people of Arkansas understood that this is a time for a dramatic change. That the old parties have made things so bad that I can't possibly make it worse. And when those Republicans and Democrats realize that there are other candidates for state and federal office who may be running against them, there is some hope for change in their hearts. But I don't see any other way for it to happen.
Mr. Eldridge, your rebuttal.
Well, Frank brings up a good point. You know, junior senator, perhaps 100th in seniority, how do you get anything done? That's why I'm running for the Senate, because one senator can make a difference. And the Senate is the place to go to do that. We have seen throughout our history individual senators represent their states in a way that makes a difference. We've seen that in Arkansas in our history. I'm running to do that in 2017, for the 6-year term through 23. And that's why I'm in this race. It takes 3 things. It takes commitment and strength and hard work. And that's exactly how I approach this job. I do believe the Senate can play the role that it should. I think that the nonpartisan approach that I outlined is the way to do that. And all I can say is, I've looked criminals in the eye and sent them to prison. People who committed fraud, people who stole money from people who committed violent pharmacy robberies, people who committed all sorts of crimes. I'm not afraid to look anybody in Washington in the eye and seek to genuinely work with them to get things done that we agree need to be done, but also to look them in the eye and stand up to them to do what's right for Arkansas and America, and that's why I'm in this race.
Mr. Gilbert, one last rebuttal.
That is as close to a personal attack as you'll ever hear me make of Connor Eldridge. And it's done in jest, and I hope you and he understand that. But the truth is, no one person is going to be able to do that. He can't do it. I can't do it. You and 3,500,000 Arkies can do it. The only way to make a substantive difference in the Congress of the United States is to do something radically different than anything you've done in the past. What is the definition of insanity? We all know. It's doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result.
Let's have a round of applause for Mr. Gilbert and Mr. Eldridge.